What is up, everybody? I'm MrThumb. Welcome back to my channel. We're gonna be doing another episode of the stream today. Man, opening of streams. I have no idea what to say. Feel like there should be something said, but I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be. Maybe I should watch other streamers, try to figure it out. But that weird random thought aside, we're going to be doing the same format we've been doing for the past couple of weeks now. We're going to watch a little bit of content that I found interesting. It popped up on my recommended. And then we're going to jump into some Monster Hunter rides. So, without further ado, let's crack straight into it here.
Long before I was a noted nuclear zen, I was a Fallout fan. I have hundreds of hours in each game. I've even gone as far as to work directly with Bethesda to science.
We are going to start with
nukes to giant laser beams.
Kyle Hill here.
That I was never able to
with the release of the Fallout series, maybe we'll
is this iconic image.
do a little bit more
No,
Fallout
this
content,
isn't
see if it gets
just
any traction.
Vault Boy. If the internet is to be believed, this iconic image is actually hiding some nuclear science in it. Is this a rule of thumb that in the event of a nuclear war could save your life? Or is it just a bunch of bleh? If the ghouls of the internet are to be believed, this iconic Vault Boy pose is much more than just a thumbs up. It's supposed to be a quick way to determine whether or not you are too close to a nuclear blast. You look at the mushroom cloud in the distance, you hold up your thumb, and if the mushroom cloud is bigger in your visual field than your outstretched thumb, you are too close. Now, too close is hard to define without a work.
Quick side here. What do you do if you find out you are too close? Just go, oh, guess I'll die now? Or find out that you're far enough away? Like, oh, cool, I do nothing? I'm just kind of curious what you're supposed to do with that information once you have it.
Working knowledge of nuclear weapons. So, let's start there. What about nuclear weapons is so dangerous?
Everything. They are clear existential threats to civilization.
Yeah, no, I know that, Arya, but like, specifically though.
Oh, beep boop.
From decades of testing, we know that the energy distribution during a nuclear blast is more complicated than just uranium going boom boom. Yes, most of the energy goes into blast like it does for conventional chemical explosives, but there are also significant and potentially lethal thermal and radiative effects. So, what too close to a nuclear bomb
how
means,
little of it
we'll
is,
have to take into account being
radiation.
far enough away from each energy mode. We're going to evaluate each energy mode and not just potential nuclear fallout like the meme focuses on, because fallout depends on much more complicated factors like wind speed and direction and height of burst, factors that you won't know just looking at a mushroom cloud. And in the event of a nuclear war, blasts that create fallout are not actually optimal for destroying cities, so we're going to ignore this aspect for now. So, what is too close? Too close to radiation will risk acute radiation poisoning and death. Too close to thermal will risk blindness, burns of all degrees, and in the limit, vaporization. Too close to blast will risk blunt force trauma and soft tissue ruptures. Now here's a question that I think is fair for this Fallout Physics 101 class that we're apparently having. Sit down in the back. Which aspect of a nuclear blast will travel the furthest and will therefore define the utility of this rule of thumb?
Just pausing here because I feel like I want to take a crack at this. I feel like the obvious one is radiation, but I don't feel like radiation, it's not going to travel at the same speed as the other two. Thermal and blast will be probably be roughly the same, whereas radiation can keep traveling for days or even weeks, I would assume, through particles in the air.
Radiation is usually what we think about most when it comes to nuclear weapons, but is that actually what we should be concerned with here? Arya, throw the options up on screen. Think about it. I'll be right back.
I didn't even have to pause it. He did it
After
for
a
me.
nuclear blast, how far the energy goes will be determined both by the size of the weapon and the environment that weapon is in. Now, while radiation may be what most people think about
How
when
old
it
is
comes
this
to the
video, anyway?
aftermath of a nuclear explosion, radiation actually has the shortest range of the energies involved.
Oh, this
That's
is pretty
because
new.
high-energy particles and gamma rays are scattered and reflected by atoms in the air, and therefore don't travel as far. They can even be deflected back towards ground zero. And just a side note, ionizing X-rays at the instant of detonation are what produce the tremendous but relatively small fireball that we're not considering here. The blast wave and associated damage travels the next furthest. This is both because it has the most energy behind it and because human structures, biological and artificial, are extremely sensitive to any pressures over atmospheric or overpressures. Finally, it's thermal radiation that travels the furthest after a nuclear detonation, as the
Really?
photons of light don't interact with air in the same way that high-energy particles do. The atmosphere
Okay.
is mostly transparent to visible, infrared, and ultraviolet light. That's why you
Wow.
can see
I mean, I
things
guess-
outside.
I guess that's why he asked the question in the first place, because it wasn't going to be what everyone would assume.
Did you get the order correctly? Good for some of you. But keep in mind that this order would have been different in a different environment. We've tested nuclear weapons in space, and in space, there's no air, so there's actually no blast wave. Ultimately, we will use the distance at which thermal radiation is no longer dangerous to evaluate this fallout rule of thumb. Now,
Okay.
I could have Arya calculate all of those distances for different yield weapons, but she's having her liquid helium tanks refilled.
Tee, it's so cold.
So instead, we're going to use this fantastic website that you've probably seen before, NukeMap, by Alex Wellerstein, a nuclear historian. It has coded within
What a
it all of the
terrifying-
complicated calculations
terrifying-
that will allow us to simulate a real nuclear blast of various
The fact
sizes
that
and
this website
dimensions
even
anywhere
exists.
in the world, with all the attendant details. I'm going to select 3 differently sized weapons to compare. Let's start with yields from the only offensively detonated nuclear weapons, Fat Man and Little Boy. Then I'm going to make sure to display all the data that we're interested in, from a 100% safe from thermal effects distance to mushroom cloud height, both of which we will use to compare against our thummy thumbs. Do all this and detonate, and it looks like the minimum safe distance from a Hiroshima-sized blast is 4.66 kilometers away, with a mushroom cloud that is 6.58 kilometers tall. Of course, this all scales up dramatically if we use a weapon in the United States' modern arsenal, and apocalyptically so if we simulate the largest US weapon ever tested, the fusion bomb at Castle Bravo. With this data in hand, all we have to do now is take it and see if the internet was right about Vault Boy. With accurately simulated mushroom clouds and safe distances in hand, we can now use simple geometry to calculate what the visual angle of these explosions would be from our point of view, and then compare that angle to the visual angle of our thumbs outstretched in front of our faces. Remember, if the mushroom cloud at a safe distance is bigger than our thumbs, then this rule of thumb tells us nothing. But what are the chances that the internet would be wrong about something as complicated as nuclear physics? A flaw in Bethesda logic? Yeah, right. Arya, take us to the surface, please.
It's super dirty out there, but
I know, just...
okay.
A fun little rule of thumb is that if you take your outstretched fists and hold it against the horizon, it takes up about 10 degrees of your visual angle. You can use this to estimate how far the sun will travel in 1 hour. Now, it also just so happens that your thumb is about the same height as your fist, about 10 degrees in your visual angle. So, at this safe distance for this
Not quite,
fallout
close
rule of
enough.
thumb to be true, the mushroom cloud behind me needs to be smaller than 10 degrees. If a Hiroshima-sized nuclear weapon detonated behind me, it would produce a mushroom cloud yay big. From a simple equation that you can do at home, we can see that this would be a visual angle of 70 degrees. And so this fallout myth doesn't hold much irradiated water. You can, in fact, be much, much closer to a mushroom cloud than this rule of thumb says. Even if the bomb was much larger, produced a mushroom cloud that stretched a third of the way to space,
This is super dark. I know this is kind of fun content, but this is also really dark to think about. Dang.
It would still be bigger than your thumb at a safe distance. And furthermore, this advice isn't just wrong, it's useless. If you're trying to avoid thermal radiation from a nuclear blast, it travels at the speed of light. You would have literally no time to check something and then run for cover. And if you are avoiding a blast wave, you have just seconds to try to take cover, rather than hold out your thumb and check a nuclear bomb like a dingus. Look, this rule of thumb is fun. It fits with the dark humor of the Fallout series.
I also don't know that it would fucking matter unless you were immediately getting into the bomb shelter. Like you're hanging out outside of the door and you're like, oh shit. Nope, that's bad. And then close the door to the bomb shelter. I don't know that there's anywhere you could go or anything you could do that would have any appreciable effect that it would protect you. Or what, are you gonna hide behind a tree? And also, Clyde is here.
But ultimately, it's a bit like Preston Garvey. Don't need it, don't want it. Until next time.
See? Told you Clyde's here. Hey, bud.
Now exiting the facility.
Thank you so much to the very nerdy staff here at the facility for their direct and substantial support in the creation of this here video. If you want to join us at the facility, if you want to drape on a silky white lab coat, possibly be replaced by a synth, get videos early, get private members only live streams with me, that's patreon.com/Kyle Hill to join the facility today. And hey, if you support us just enough, you get your name on RA here in every single video. And as you can see, there's hundreds and hundreds. How could I even pass the time? So one thing I kind of skipped over was the fallout of the Fallout meme, right? So the meme says that if you hold up your thumb, then you might be in danger of receiving radioactive fallout. But something I kind of glossed over was that if an adversary was going to destroy a bunch of cities and have the most effect on a population and its infrastructure, they would most likely be airbursts like we did in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Airbursts create the most overpressure on people and buildings on the ground. A surface burst that would create the most fallout, that's what we're talking about, vaporized dirt and debris and fall out over time. That wouldn't be very efficient in taking out an enemy, or not as efficient. And if you're trying to end the world, efficiency is definitely your #1 priority, right? Right?
I just noticed my Clyde cam is, hold up. Sorry, I hate to be the guy fixing his OBS in the middle of the stream. Clyde's camera is all fuckered up. Look at that. Look at that. That's not zoomed in. Okay, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Thanks for watching.
I definitely need that obs bot.
The Fallout
So
franchise
likely.
has a long and complex history and timeline that has been expanding
Sir,
its post-apocalyptic future ever
excuse
since
the
the
fuck
original
out of
games
you.
released back in 1997. With 4 mainline games, a handful of spin-offs, and now a TV show that's set within the same universe, the series has a
This is not what we were trying to watch next. Damn you, YouTube autoplay. I need to be careful with that on this channel. It'll get me in trouble. Sir, you got to go to the designated client area. Hi. Hello. And please don't foot fuck my keyboard. What you doing? There. The Clyde can. Yep. There we go. Okay. Moving swiftly on.
So, by now we've probably all heard of anti-heroes, right? The dark, gritty version of the hero. The one who doesn't mind kicking the dog or stealing candy from a baby if it ultimately gets them what they want. When you think about it, they really look like bad guys. It's just that what they want happens to be a good thing, which...
My bad, y'all. This video is called What is an Anti-Villain? By, we've watched them before, Tail Foundry. So, yeah, quick intro. What is an Anti-Hero by Tail Foundry? This popped up just today. Looks kind of interesting.
From an audience perspective, makes them insanely complex to think about. We even did a whole video about it, just trying to untangle the line between where anti-hero and villain is. But there's another side to this too, one that I rarely see explored. What would you call the opposite of that? The bright, soft version of the villain? The one who doesn't mind saving the cat or helping an old lady across the street? What happens when, for all intents and purposes, a character seems like a good guy, but they still want to blow up the city? That, my friends, is what we call an anti-villain. And if you thought anti-heroes were complex, I promise you, you haven't seen anything
prominent
yet.
pop culture references for anti-villains. Nothing's coming to mind immediately. I know that they're there, it's just not coming to mind.
It can be pretty hard to find opportunities to do really experimental stuff as a content creator. Usually that kind of thing is pretty risky and can end up costing a lot of money. Nevertheless, we have managed to do some pretty weird stuff. Like this video about a fantasy setting that basically has gigantic geographic genitalia, or this video about crafting living beings with magic. But the coolest thing we've ever done, hands down, our 6-part original series, Worldsmiths, which explores some of the most unique fiction by some of the most unique authors. Junji Ito's weirdly pleasant psychological world of horror, Neil Gaiman's darkly honest approach to writing children's stories, and a bunch of others. We put so much effort into that series, and we are just so proud of it. And the reason we got to do all of that? This stuff that would just be a bit too risky to try here on YouTube. Our streaming platform, Nebula. We literally get paid to do experiments over there. So if you want to see us try more weird and interesting stuff, visit go.nebula.tv/talefoundry and sign up for just $2.50 a month. There are a ton of other creators experimenting over there too, so once you're done with our stuff, you'll have plenty left to explore. But definitely look at our stuff first. Again, visit go.nebula.tv/talefoundry and go watch our original series, Worldsmiths. Now, back to the video. The first thing we want to do is draw some boundaries for what a villain even is. First of all, the villain is not the antagonist. I mean, it usually is, but it doesn't have to be. Where an antagonist is just a villain that gets in the way, a villain is, importantly, a bad guy. They aren't just an obstacle or a jerk. The thing that they want is actually morally wrong. So that kid who the protagonist is competing with in the baseball playoffs, antagonist, not villain. On the other hand, criminal mastermind who wants to take over the world? Villain, of course. But these days, very few villains are just that. The rise of the anti-hero is occurring in concert with the rise of the anti-villain. In fact, some of the only places you really see these pure evil villains these days are in high fantasy, where they're often some kind of mysterious force of darkness, or in works made for children that need a more generic, mustache-twirling baddie. Outside of that, they're most often found in comedies, where they're lampooned for the utter unrealisticness of having no positive traits whatsoever. At one point in the recent movie Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is fantastic by the way, please watch it, the villain Big Jack Horner gets his hand on a magical talking bug that introduces itself as his conscience. A fun little parody of Jiminy Cricket from Disney's adaptation of Pinocchio. Throughout the movie, the little bug makes increasingly desperate attempts to find some shred of goodness in the irredeemable Jack, until eventually he is forced to admit that no such thing exists. Jack is just a genuinely bad person. It's honestly so much fun to watch. If the movie didn't take advantage of Jack's moral bankruptcy to make a lot of really great, irreverent jokes, this character would probably just be incredibly boring. Evil all by itself is just one note. It can be hard to make compelling. Without some way to add intrigue, like a good sense of humor, these
Same reason why Superman in most pop culture outside of comic books does not work.
characters just feel like cardboard cutouts painted the color evil. Fortunately, it's not an either-or situation. You can have a villain that is just a villain and also give them some fun depth of character. You can even make the audience like them. There's a throwaway character in the show Rick and Morty named Crumbopulous Michael who is impossible not to like, even though he's an alien assassin.
Nice to meet you, Morty. Listen, if you ever need anybody murdered, please give me a call.
You're
I'm very
giving him a
discreet. I have
card?
no code of ethics. I will kill anyone, anywhere. Children, animals, old people, doesn't matter.
His
I
social
just love
media
killing.
handles are
He
all
only
there.
has a couple of minutes of screen time in the entire series, but he's still an audience favorite.
Oh boy, here I go killing again.
But just because a villain is likable or funny doesn't make them not a villain. Just as good doesn't necessarily mean nice. Nice doesn't necessarily mean good. Perhaps the most common type
Glad
of
you are
likable
shedding
villain is what
so bad.
tvtropes.org
My
calls the
view.
wooby villain. The idea is that if you attach enough tragic history to a character, it will soften all their sharp edges and make them feel less like a villain. And fair enough, I guess that does work. But it doesn't change the fact that they're a villain. Yes, it's tragic that your family was murdered by penguins. No, that doesn't mean
Correct.
your penguin genocide revenge plot is okay. Okay,
Beg to
so,
differ.
antagonists, comedically dark villains, villains with depth, villains we like, villains we feel sorry for. These are all fun approaches to giving our villains a bit of depth, but they aren't anti-villains. At the start of the video, I gave a pretty basic description of anti-heroes and anti-villains. The anti-hero might be dark and gritty, they might do bad things, but they ultimately want something good, and strive to get it, which makes them heroes. On the other hand, although they may be pleasant, may even do good things, anti-villains ultimately want something bad, which makes them villains. Really, what it comes down to is goals. The methods and motivations behind those goals can change, but at the end of the day, it's the net result of what the character does or tries to do which decides their morality. Thanos from the Marvel Cinematic Universe is actually a really great example of this. His ultimate motivation is to bring balance to a cosmos that he sees as overpopulated. He wants to save it. His method for pursuing this motivation is ruthlessly tearing apart every world he comes to in search of the tools that will enable him to do the work. And his goal? His goal, in plain terms, is to murder half of all living beings in the universe at the same time. So, he may be motivated by a good ideal, but his ultimate goal is evil. He's a villain, despite a weirdly altruistic core ethos. This is what an anti-villain looks like. Although it's also probably
Really?
like the most vanilla version you can possibly find.
Okay.
Big purple evil man wants to murder half of all the people, but, you know, it might help the
For a good
ecosystem.
reason.
Not a huge moral quandary there. Like I said earlier, this gets far more complex. If a villain is a character with goals that we understand to be bad, then there are two types of anti-villains. One with an evil goal but good motives, and another with an evil goal but good methods. It'd certainly be easier if they had names, wouldn't it? Luckily, we have tvtropes.org to help us. That is, when we aren't getting hopelessly lost in article browsing. That site is so addictive. The noble anti-villain is basically just a villain with some kind of code of ethics or code of honor that they follow. For them, the end does not always justify the means. Their goal may be evil, but their methods are more scrupulous, more honorable than those of other villains. This is sometimes as simple as an honor among thieves dynamic. Think of the Thieves Guild in the Elder Scrolls games, which has a strict no-killing policy. Useful? Absolutely. These rules serve a valuable role in helping these villains do what they do, but I think the villains who do this for their own personal reasons fit that noble title a little bit better. In the 1987 movie Predator, an alien game hunter comes to Earth in search of worthy prey. The movie follows a band of jacked, testosterone-fueled Green Berets on a mission that takes them deep into the Vietnamese wilderness. It doesn't take long before the alien identifies them as a good target and stealthily begins to pick them off one by one. But eventually, near the movie's climax, one of the veterans proves to be a match for him. And when challenged to combat, the alien meets the man, warrior to warrior, discarding its futuristic weapons and armor. A ruthless killer, yes, but one with a code of honor. It will only fight a worthy adversary. But that's still kind of rulesy, right? I would consider it anti-villain behavior, sure, but just barely. I think I like it a bit more when a character who we take to be a ruthless villain encounters an ethical boundary that they just don't have the heart to cross.
I should really be pausing this a lot more, but This is just really fascinating. I wish I had more to add to this. I really don't. I probably won't edit this down into its own individual video, but it's super interesting to watch.
In Disney's Treasure Planet, the notorious pirate Long John Silver gives up his chance to abscond with a boatload of treasure in order to save Jim Hawkins, the teenage cabin boy he had bonded with earlier in the movie. Although he had betrayed Jim and held him hostage only a few minutes earlier, apparently, for him, no amount of treasure is worth Jim's life. This is always a meaningful revelation for us as an audience, seeing this new dimension of our villain.
Sir.
Sometimes it even signals that they're heading for a redemption arc, and at some point will either join the good guys or make some heroic self-sacrifice that's supposed to absolve them of their evil deeds. So, that's what happens when you have a character with a villainous goal, but a not-so-villainous method for achieving it. But what does it look like when both the method and the goal are bad, but the motivation is good? That's the territory of the other anti-villain type, the well-intentioned extremist. Thanos technically fits this role, but I think there's another villain who demonstrates it in a far more nuanced fashion. In the first season of the show, The Legend of Korra, we're introduced to the Big Bad, an enigmatic, powerful, mask-wearing villain called Amon, who's threatening to destroy
I've
the
never
status
actually
quo.
watched The Legend of Korra.
And he kind of has a point. See, the world they live in has two kinds of people in it. Benders and non-benders. People who can magically manipulate the elements of earth, wind, fire, and water, and people who can't. As you can imagine, benders have a bit of an inherent edge here. Amon is the leader of the Equalists, a political faction seeking to make benders and non-benders equal. He wants everyone to feel safe from each other and have the same opportunities. A noble cause, right? But like Thanos, that's just his motive. His actual goal is to forcibly strip every single bender of their powers. And if that goal weren't bad enough by itself, his method of achieving it is equally villainous. Kidnapping people, terrorizing the population, and arming his own dangerous paramilitary force. And with that context, he becomes a pretty clear villain, right? He wants something bad, he's willing to do bad things to get it, but his idealistic and virtuous motivation technically makes him an anti-villain. And we can see how delicate that balance is if we tweak things just a little.
Yeah.
What if
very,
he wanted
very
something
close to
good?
anti-hero.
Like if instead of forcibly stripping benders of their powers, what if his goal was to pass laws to protect non-benders and give them equal rights? And what if he used the same dark methods to achieve that goal, kidnapping and terrorism? Well, all of a sudden, he actually becomes an anti-hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
This brings me to another interesting point. The domains of anti-hero and anti-villain are so close that sometimes it just seems to be a simple matter of perspective. Someone you took to be an anti-hero can very much appear to be an anti-villain if you just change the angle from which you're looking at them. In Stranger Things Season 4, the character Jason is out for revenge against Eddie Munson, the Satanist who ritualistically murdered his girlfriend Chrissy. Except we, as the audience, know that Chrissy was actually murdered by an interdimensional monster.
Right.
That's not as believable as the satanic sacrifice excuse, though, so good luck trying to convince him of that. It's easy to see Jason as an anti-villain in this scenario, but what if we thought the same thing that he did? What if we really did believe Eddie was responsible for the murder? Wouldn't that make Jason an anti-hero? One piece of information changes the narrative completely. Jason probably wouldn't be doing any of this if he knew the truth. So can he really be
That one would
considered the
certainly
bad guy? He's an anti-villain purely because of what we know about the situation, not actually anything he's done. This is an issue you'll run into all the time with these roles. Severus Snape's goals and motivations are a mystery throughout most of the Harry Potter series, but unless you've been in a coma since 2005, you probably know that he kills Dumbledore, and unless you've been in a coma since 2007, you probably know that he was a good guy the whole time. But what if you were in that coma? If you only had access to the first 6 books, you would almost definitely still classify him as an anti-villain. Similarly, what if the scene in Book 7 where Harry discovers the truth about Snape hadn't happened? Nothing about Snape himself would have changed, but Harry's opinion of him would have been drastically different. And as we experience the book through Harry's eyes, so would ours. So, we have, hopefully, a pretty good definition for what an anti-villain is here, which is great, but our goal is not necessarily to lock down definitions for these things. It's to find new lenses through
Okay.
which we can look at the fiction we love. These labels are less useful as rigid categories than they are as lenses. There's a reason people love to argue about their favorite villain's morality. Could Kylo Ren ever have been redeemed? When does Walter White make the switch from hapless antihero into full-on villain? Is Tyler Durden a demon that tried to drag the hero under? Or the necessary shadow he had to face for growth? When you're having these conversations, you're not really discussing the morality of fictional characters. You're discussing your own morality. And these words, hero, anti-hero, villain, anti-villain, are just the language you use to do it. The complexity here is wonderful, and we honestly don't actually want to undo all of it. Hopefully this definition can help you to explore it. Speaking of complexity, this video is just a taste of all the interesting stuff we
Sir,
want to do with video
Your
creation.
butt is in my
There are
face
so
frame.
many boundaries we haven't pushed yet that we are just aching to.
Okay, bye.
Unfortunately, experiments can be pretty costly. Unlike regular content, you really have no idea how something experimental is going to perform, and doing something new with content creation almost always forces you to dig a little deeper into your wallet. Nevertheless, we have managed to do some pretty weird stuff over the last few years. Like this video about a fantasy setting that basically has gigantic geographic genitalia, or this video about crafting living beings with
sorry, y'all.
magic.
Mhm.
But the coolest thing we've ever done, hands down, our 6-part original series, Worldsmiths, which explores some of the most unique fiction by some of the most unique authors. Junji Ito's weirdly pleasant psychological world of horror, Neil Gaiman's darkly honest approach to writing children's stories, and a bunch of others. We put so much effort into that series, and we are just so proud of it. And the reason we got to do all of
I
that,
would really like
this
to
stuff that would just be a bit too
explore
risky
the
to
Dark
try here on
Souls universe a
YouTube.
little bit more.
Well, we
I
actually
keep
have
telling
a
myself that I
completely
want to,
different streaming
but I
platform
just
for it,
haven't done it yet.
called Nebula. It's amazing. We literally get paid to do experiments over there. All of our videos upload on Nebula a whole week before they upload here on YouTube, without any ads. And, like I said, all the weird stuff that we're just not able to risk making for YouTube goes up there too. In fact, it's the only place you can see a lot of it. And we're not the only ones who have been posting there. The same is true for so many other amazing creators. The entire platform was built by creators for creators. Every time you watch a video over there,
will let him
a
finish
creator
his
you
ad.
love is getting paid, and far more than they would ever get paid on YouTube. For a lot of us over there, it's become the single best way to fund our more experimental, ambitious content, like our original series, Worldsmiths. And here's the really fun part. You can get Nebula for cheaper than almost any other streaming platform on the internet. Like $2.50 per month. That cheap. We want you to have access to our Nebula content, so we've managed to get Tale Foundry fans who sign up using our link a whole 40% off the usual rate. All you have to do is click the link in the description or go to go.nebula.tv/talefoundry and sign up for 1 year. That's it. And with our discount on that first year, the whole year is only going to be $30, which again comes out to just $2.50 per month. Frankly, I'm not quite sure how they can afford to do this for us, but I'm definitely not complaining. Seriously, take advantage of this offer while it's still going. I don't think a better one exists in the world of streaming. Anyway, that's all for this one. Thanks for watching, and
I saw a really interesting video scroll through there. Was H.P. Lovecraft a bad author? That actually sounds super fascinating. I don't know a lot about H.P. Lovecraft. I have like a peripheral knowledge of the universes that he created, or I might have all been one universe, not 100% sure. And that he was like a horrible anti-Semite. And that's about all I know about him. So it'd be interesting to hear a little bit more.
If you travel
And next, we are going to check out a video by a channel called What If? Evolution of dinosaurs in 10 minutes. Right there. And I've never seen this channel before, I don't think. But this sounds pretty interesting, so let's see. Ooh, and they've got some other cool stuff too, by the looks of it. Things you were allowed to about dinosaurs. I fucking love dinosaurs. Okay, so it's obvious. And yeah, let's check this shit out.
250 million years into the past, you'd be witnessing the dawn of dinosaurs. One of the leading theories is that dinosaurs evolved from a species known as archosaurs. These were the dominant reptiles that appeared during the late Permian period.
Oh, okay,
To some,
yeah.
they may even look like dinosaurs, and that's because they were ancestors to these incredible creatures. Over time, the archosaurs split up into two groups. One of these groups led to crocodiles, and the other led to dinosaurs, which continued evolving into thousands of different species. One of the main traits they eventually gained was their bipedal abilities. Early dinosaurs began to walk on two legs, freeing their front limbs for other uses like grabbing food and defending themselves. And that's just the start of their evolutionary
going
journey.
away altogether.
Let's travel back in time, 250
Or not
million years
altogether,
ago,
but becoming
and
basically
witness the
useless.
history of dinosaurs in 10 minutes.
Sick.
Triassic period. As you enter this new era, you'll notice that the dinosaurs running around look pretty different from what you're used to seeing. One of the earliest dinosaurs that emerged from the archosaurs was the Eoraptor. This little guy was about the size of a dog, barely 1 meter tall and weighing in at a meager 10 kilograms. You know, we typically think of dinosaurs as these massive creatures, but it'd be a couple million more years before that started to happen. We'll check in to see how those dinos are
Yeah,
growing
that thing
in
would still be
size as
terrifying
they
at a
survive.
meter tall. It was like
But
3
for
feet.
now, let's see what's happening to
It would
Earth.
still be horrible.
During the Triassic period, the supercontinent Pangaea starts to fragment, slowly altering global climates and ecosystems. The climate was generally hot and dry, and there were no polar ice caps, creating a stark contrast to what you're typically used to in modern-day Earth. The vegetation was also very different and was crucial for the survival and evolution of dinosaurs. The plant
If I'm not mistaken, it was like mostly ferns and coniferous. Fucking old ass pine trees.
have different characteristics as well. Some are tough, some nutritious, and others potentially poisonous. Each one of them will influence the dietary and adaptive strategies of different dinosaur species. Speaking of which, what are some other dinosaurs doing during this time? Weighing in at about 23 kilograms and 1 meter tall, we have the Coelophysis. It was a little bit bigger than the Eoraptor, but that didn't stop it from being a fast and agile predator that likely preyed on smaller animals. Now, the Herrerasaurus was slightly taller at about 1.1 meters, but was a lot heavier.
Also terrifying.
At about 350 kilograms.
Oh shit.
Then we have the Plateosaurus. Now this guy is way bigger than me. It stood tall at about 3 meters and
The carnivore?
weighed up to 4,000 kilograms. This was one of the earliest examples of how big dinosaurs could grow. But wait, they get even bigger than this.
Oh, yeah.
Despite their impressive forms, dinosaurs weren't the dominant creatures during the Triassic. They had to share their environments with many other
Quetzal.
organisms,
We just watched a
all
video about
vying
that
for
guy.
survival in the diverse ecosystems. This was the case until the Triassic period would experience a great extinction event. This was likely caused by massive volcanic activity, climate change, and potentially even some small asteroid impacts. This will have a significant effect on life on Earth and lead to the extinction of numerous species. But it wasn't all bad, especially for our dinosaurs. This moment set the stage to bring new opportunities to these species, leading to them dominating the Earth. Jurassic period. Now,
The
instead of
quintessential
dinosaurs
dino
simply
period.
surviving, this is where they thrive.
Yep.
Over the millions of years, different species have been evolving, and dinosaurs are now the rulers of the Earth. They spread across continents, dominating the lush forests and arid deserts. Occupying these areas were some massive dinosaurs, ones that you're probably a lot more familiar with. We have the Stegosaurus, Brachiosaurus, and Allosaurus. These were some of the largest creatures ever to walk the Earth. But you'd quickly notice that it wasn't
Allosaurus.
just these
Okay, yeah,
massive
that
beasts
tracks.
that were roaming around. This era also saw the evolution of theropods. These were smaller dinosaurs that had more of a bird-like form. One of the most famous was the Archaeopteryx. It was kind of like a mix between a dinosaur and a bird, with feathers and wings, but also with bony teeth and a tail. The Archaeopteryx was a crucial link between birds and dinosaurs. If you wait about 100 million more years, they'll evolve into the birds we know today. Oh, wait, is that a spoiler? After 56 million years, the Jurassic period comes to an end. This was after yet another extinction event happened. Luckily, this one is more minor. However, due to climate change, volcanic activity, and sea levels changing, some species are
more
going
minor?
extinct. This once again changes the landscape as the dinosaurs enter their final era. Cretaceous period.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we've now entered the Cretaceous period, and
This
as
is the
we've
one
been
with the
traveling
big-
through
the
these
big
millions of
die-off,
years, you may have
think.
noticed something's missing. Right, one of the dinosaurs' biggest stars hasn't appeared yet. Say hello to the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The T-Rex was a massive beast. It was 3.7 meters tall and 12 meters long. Not only that, but it was a whopping 9 tons. Equipped with a powerful jaw and incredibly sharp teeth, the T-Rex dominated the Cretaceous kingdom. It was one of the most dominant predators history has ever seen. This colossal beast wasn't just scavenging leftovers, it was an active hunter, stalking its prey with keen eyesight and a heightened sense of smell.
That
Among
actually-
its favorite meals,
Now, if I'm not mistaken, cool. They got feathers on it. I think the general consensus in the paleological community right now is that T-Rex probably didn't have feathers. If they did, I think they said at most they probably had like proto feathers, so almost like little, not barbs. Yeah, almost kind of like little barbs without any plumage on them, if anything at all. I think that because of its size, they think it more than likely had not necessarily a scaly skin, but something more comparable to like an elephant. At least that's the last thing I heard. This shit changes every few years.
stalking its prey with
not my
keen
face.
eyesight
There we
and
go.
a heightened sense of smell. Among its favorite meals were the sizable herbivores like the Edmontosaurus. But the T-Rex didn't stop there. It would take on formidable opponents like the Triceratops and even other smaller theropods if the opportunity arose. With its powerful jaws filled with 12-inch teeth and its strong hind limbs that allowed it to run at speeds of up to 40 kilometers per hour, the T-Rex
That's
was
terrifying.
a master of the hunt. But this period wasn't just filled with massive beasts like the T-Rex. Look around and you'll also notice even more feathered dinosaurs in the Cretaceous period. One of them being the Velociraptor. Now, you typically see them portrayed like this with no feathers, but evidence suggests that these creatures were quite feathered. Now, the feathers weren't necessarily used for flying, more for warmth and stability. And this one is the Microraptor. Now, unlike the Velociraptor,
Huh.
its feathers likely were used for flight, giving us crucial
I didn't mean to switch it there. Just a funny thing about pop culture. I knew Velociraptor was pretty small. They're like turkey size. I think that's the going consensus. But Microraptor is 1.2 meters tall, so pushing up on close to 4 feet when that's called the Microraptor. That is hilarious. I didn't know that. I thought Microraptors were extremely small. You know, as the name would suggest.
insight into the evolution of birds. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, Pangaea was breaking up and forming into the continents we know today. But because of this, some dinosaurs were forced to migrate and separate into different areas of the world. These dinosaurs had to adapt to their new environments, potentially changing the course of their evolution. But none of this matters when we consider what happens next. The cataclysmic event. Okay, as you've been hanging out with the dinosaurs for millions of years, an asteroid has been making its way toward Earth. Then suddenly, it hits, creating a massive crater 150 kilometers wide and 20 kilometers deep. Naturally, something this huge makes a devastating impact on the world, one that'll change it forever. The asteroid's collision is massive, but its impact is felt long after the initial crash.
All the way
Due
around
to the
planet,
massive
from what I
collision, the
understand.
environment drastically changes. Significant drops in temperature start to occur, and debris from the crash begins to block out the sun. This impacts not only the dinosaurs' health, but also their food supply. This devastating event wipes out 75% of the Earth's species, many of which are the dinosaurs we've been observing this whole time. But don't worry, not all of the dinosaurs went extinct. The aviation-based dinosaurs we checked out earlier managed to survive the asteroid strike, eventually evolving into birds. Aftermath. Now that most of the dinosaurs are extinct, it's cleared the way for mammals to diversify and expand their impact on the world. With less competition, early mammals can now thrive and take over, which slowly, over time, allowed humans to evolve, building the world we know today. Dinosaurs went on to evolve for another 165 million years, but there's still so much we need to learn about them. Like, did you know that not all dinosaurs were cold-blooded? Some of them may have been warm-blooded, or even both. But that's a story for another What If.
That was pretty sweet. Was it actually 10 minutes? Yeah, almost on the dot. 10 minutes, 8 seconds. Okay. All right, y'all. We're gonna do one more.
You have most likely heard of the term big cats, which refers to any member
This
of the
is the largest dog to ever walk the earth by Extinct Zoo. We've watched some of his stuff before. No, I'm not subscribed to you. No, I am. So yeah, we're gonna watch more of this from Extinct Zoo. The largest dog to ever walk the earth, with dog in quotation marks here.
Panthera, as well as the two non-pantherine felines, the cheetah and the cougar. Together, these cats form arguably the most successful group of carnivores currently seen on Earth, with roughly 75% of the world's countries having one or more big cats present as an apex predator. This is a remarkable feat, and their dominion also stretches back for millions of years, with the first of the big cats arising during the late Miocene some 6 million years ago. However, despite their successes, these felines are by no means alone when it comes to ferocious
Jaguars
carnivores,
are terrifying.
as other groups have their fair share of those as well, including the Canidae group. Members of this family are colloquially referred to as dogs, and consist of domesticated dogs, wolves, coyotes, and foxes, among others. Like the big cats, they too have a worldwide distribution. Yet, unlike their whiskered adversaries, canids tend to be much smaller, with the largest living wild canid, the gray wolf, only being comparable to the second smallest big cat, the snow leopard, which leads to the question of where
I
are
always thought wolves
all
were bigger
the
than that.
quote-unquote big dogs. The simple answer to that is that they are long gone. But once upon a time, giant dogs, or canids, were thriving and ruling various parts of the earth, with the biggest and most frightening of the bunch being the ancient bone-crushing Epicyon. Despite being the largest canid of all time, you likely haven't heard much, if at all, about this prehistoric beast, as it simply hasn't been portrayed in mainstream media. And yet, it's been known about for a long time, with its first remains being discovered over 160 years ago
That's a
in
wide
Nebraska
skull.
in the United States. The holotype consisted of an extremely fragmented but recognizable lower jaw, which was wolf-like in nature, leading it to being classified as a subgenus of Canis. However, as more remains were found throughout the years, paleontologists came to understand that this was no Canis, as more completed skulls that included the top sections showed that the skull wasn't really as wolf-like as originally thought. In fact, due to specialized enlarged premolars, this ancient nightmare had a head that in some ways resembled more closely a lion or hyena than a wolf. Although, despite clearly not
I thought that hyenas were canids. I'm clearly not. But yeah, I always thought the hyenas were canines.
being a canis, the rest of its body was still more similar to other canids than anything else, which begged the question of what exactly this new creature was.
Rose. No. Rose. Sorry, y'all.
And the
Sorry about
answer
that.
was determined by its unusual skull, as the specialized
My dog
premolars
thought she heard
it
somebody at the
possessed,
door.
along with the heavy nature
Speaking of
of the
dogs.
jaw, were hallmark traits seen in just one other known canid group, the Borophaginae. This is one of the 3 subfamilies that make up the larger Canidae family, and contains 66 species that were characterized by powerful teeth, deep shortened jaws, and fifth toes. Members of this group were found throughout prehistoric North America for over 15 million years, and they drastically ranged in size, with some being smaller than a fox, while others could get larger than gray wolves. And the Epicyon was
That's
the
a
biggest of
thick
them all,
boy.
so big that its size ultimately gave way to its new name, which means more than a dog. However, not all Epicyon were true giants, as there were 3 species that varied in size: the Savis, Ailurodontoids, and the Haydeni. Both the Savis and the Ailurodontoids were smaller species and sported more slender builds, but this is just relatively speaking, of course, as they were actually quite sizable, with adults sometimes weighing twice the weight of an adult German Shepherd. But it was the Epicyon Haydeni which was the true monster, as specimens indicate that fully matured individuals routinely measured 2.4 meters or
Man.
7.9 feet in length,
Holy
while standing
shit.
90 centimeters or 35 inches tall at the shoulders, leading to it being as long as a grizzly bear and as tall as a wild deer. This large frame resulted in it weighing anywhere from 100 to 125 kilograms, or 220 to 276 pounds on average, making it heavier than a leopard and comparable to large jaguars. Yet, the Epicyon also exhibited a high degree of size polymorphism, meaning that body size varied widely among individuals, as demonstrated by a giant humerus that, based on measurements, belonged
was
to an
this based-
adult that weighed around 170 kilograms or 370 pounds. This made it heavier than any known canid and equal in weight to a medium-sized lion. The
So, was this variance based off of age or just in general? Like adult sizes could vary widely.
second largest feline currently alive. It was thanks to this size that the Epicyon was able to tackle larger prey than most canids, both extinct and extant. But this wasn't its only unusual trait, as the Epicyon also had a vicious bite that put it on a whole different playing field than most carnivores. Because, along with having enlarged
Yeah.
premolars, the Epicyon also possessed large
Yeah, that skull is super wide. Like, fucking. It's shown it in a few shots now. That tells us that there's going to be a lot of muscle attached to this thing's head. Like, think like pit bull head.
canines that were fitted proportionally very close to the back of its lower jaw, which helped to focus a lot of force into the tips of its canines when it bit, resulting in devastating bites that were further empowered by large muscles and robust jawbones. Currently, rough estimates have suggested that this killer bite may have surpassed 16,000 newtons, which is about the same bite force as seen in large American alligators. With such power, the Epicyon was able to easily pierce through the skin, flesh, and bones of various animals, likely delivering death by attacking vulnerable parts of their bodies, such as the neck, head, or spine. Studies on its teeth and habitat indicate that its main food sources consisted of camels, pronghorns, horses, peccary, and even rhinoceroses like the teleoceras, which could reach 13 feet or 4 meters long and weigh nearly 2 tons. For these larger animals, it's also thought that the Epicyon may have relied on a form of pack hunting, as anecdotal evidence suggests that it was likely a social creature. This hypothesis is supported by the fact that nearly all well-studied Canidae members are known to be quite social, with all living members of this family exhibiting higher levels of socialness compared to the average animal. Additionally, along with being gregarious creatures, most extant members are known to hunt in cooperation with each other, with only few exceptions being found, such as in foxes, the maned wolf, and the coyote, although the latter does occasionally hunt in pairs. And beyond theoretical evidence, there is also some solid evidence in fossils.
I'm pretty sure the
no pun
coyotes
intended,
consistently
that
hunt
further
together.
support this idea. Notably, fossil records show that it was one of the most prevalent and abundant meat eaters in North America during the entire Miocene period, an accomplishment which is typically only seen in animals that exhibit a degree of pack life. The build of the Epicyon's body also adds yet more indirect evidence of its social behavior. As compared to most canids, it was constructed much more stockily, and sported robust bones that were weighed down by its hefty frame. This made it less cursorial than its relatives, meaning it wasn't well adapted for running, and would have had to instead rely on short bursts of speed, which would thus make pack life more advantageous, as it would help bridge the endurance gap this predator had. Although, it's still very possible that the Epicyon was purely a solo hunter, and in which case it was no doubt still successful, and probably would have targeted more slower, bigger prey than other predators. Additionally, the Epicyon did have one more trait as well that gave it a huge advantage even if it did work alone, and that is its bone-crushing abilities. As mentioned, this canid had an extremely strong bite, but it also had specialized premolars and thickened molars that were short, pyramid-like in shape, and wide at the base. This gave them a similar look to the teeth of the hyena, which is well known for eating bone, leading paleontologists to believe that the Epicyon probably did the same. Not to mention, this canid had its powerful skull and biting muscles as well, which would have allowed it to easily crunch and munch through bones like hyenas do. This is a case of convergent evolution, as hyenas and Epicyon are obviously not closely related. This bone-eating behavior has actually also been confirmed through fossilized feces, which contained large amounts of bone within them. It is thought that this trait would have been used to scavenge large animals and also make the most out of every kill by granting it access to the nutritious bone marrow within. This feature would have especially came in handy during periods of scarcity, as the Epicyon inhabited North America through the early and late Miocene, where over millions of years the climate fluctuated from hot to cold, wet to dry, and sometimes back and forth, bringing many hardships in the ecosystems it inhabited. And in these challenging times, the Epicyon could further rely on its teeth, as in addition to crushing bone, they possibly also resulted in a wide—
Hang on. What the fuck was this? What are these? What is this? Yeah, no, of course it's not Epicyon. I think they're supposed to be saber-toothed cats, but what is this on its chin? Sometimes these prehistoric authors, or not authors, but prehistoric illustrators come up with some fucking wild shit. Like, why does he have balls on his chin? What is this? Oh. The saber-tooth Balchinian. Okay, I'm done. Okay, back to the educational content.
challenging times, the Epicyon could further rely on its teeth. As in addition to crushing bone, they possibly also resulted in a wide, partially omnivorous diet. This is because the molars and premolars were grindstone-like, making the consumption of fruit, meat, tough plants, vegetables, and even the occasional invertebrates viable. Such a diet is actually seen in some living canids today, like the maned wolf, which based on some studies get more than 50% of its calories from vegetable matter. However, such a high percentage is very unlikely in the Epicyon. Clearly though, its diet worked wonders for it, as the Epicyon was able to expand throughout large parts of what is today America, being found in over 10 different states, while also expanding into southern Canada. Throughout these
But
lands, its remains
was it
have been
that good?
associated with a large variety of different habitats,
Yeah, that's not fair.
ranging from
Most of that
woodlands,
shit's dead.
savannas, and
I was
grasslands
gonna say, was
to
that good? It didn't
wetlands,
make it this
cave
far.
systems,
But
and
I was just
even
being
edge
shit. You could-
environments which occur when two different habitats meet. Naturally, thanks to its large range, the
I guess you can't
Epicyon
really
lived with
ignore me
many
if you're
other
on the
creatures, including the
That's
mammals
dumb.
Amebelodon, Calippus, Spermophilus, Paragnathus, Eucastor, Dipoides, Hypologus, Talpinae, Sorax, Myalus, Lasiurus, IP Camelus, Cossarix, Neohyperion, Nanopus, Prosthenops, and Teleoceras, while reptiles included alligators, an unidentified crocodile, rattlesnakes, vipers, boas, rat snakes, king snakes, mud and box turtles, plus frogs and toads. Other carnivores were also abundant, being represented by Agriotherium, Barbarophilus, Amphimacheirodus, foxes, bear dogs, and even other Borophaginae, like the Paratomarctus, Ischirocyon, Ailurodon, and Carpocyon. Such a high level of coexisting predators has led to much interest in how they interacted with the Epicyon. Unfortunately, however, this question is hard to answer, as direct evidence of interactions have never been found. Although, because of its size, most predators would have likely avoided it, and possibly even surrendered carcasses, as only the Agriotherium and Barbarophilus were equal or larger in size. And it's demonstrated by its immense time of existence that it had little to fear, as from 20 to just 5 million years ago, the Epicyon could be found in fossil records. This time span of 15 million years is extremely impressive, and further showcases the efficiency of the Epicyon's build. And yet, this giant dog still disappeared. Paleontologists are not yet sure on why it disappeared, but for a long time, the popular idea was that the arrival of giant cats in North America ultimately spelled the end for the Epicyon. Yet, the problem with this idea is that many of the cats that would have rivaled it in size only showed up after the Epicyon had gone extinct, like the Smilodon, which only appears in the fossil records 2.5 million years ago. This has led to the newer, more supported idea that it was actually climate change that did the Epicyon in, as a drop in global temperatures and an increase in aridity started to take place right around its disappearance, likely contributing to a major shift in the predominant biomes in North America, and ultimately leading to the Epicyon's final demise. But the Epicyon's demise
Now, this is something that I see in science a lot, and I always find it kind of strange. From the layman's perspective, from my layman's perspective at least, it always seems so strange to go, oh, big cats outcompeted them, and that's what happened. And then to come in later and go, no, that's not what happened. Obviously, it was climate change. Big cats had nothing to do with it, when it seems like it's probably both. I don't understand why these two things, why like these extinction events are always framed as being mutually exclusive. It has to be A or B, not A, B, C, and D. Just a thought.
didn't spell the end for the reign of giant dogs, as others would rise up after it, such as the direwolf, which, funny enough, despite its name, was not actually a wolf. And if that sounds interesting or peculiar, I've made a video about the direwolf previously, so go check that out. And like always, thanks for watching, and until next time on Extinct Zoo. You have most likely...
Alright, y'all. So, that's it for our React content for the day. We're going to jump into some Monster Hunter Rise here in just a minute. But first, I'm going to make a drink and take a short break. Catch y'all shortly. Hang on. And we're back. What's up, y'all? Second here. We're gonna bring down the... Just a smidge. There we go. Alright. How are the levels? That. Just a smidge more. There we go. I have an important matter to discuss. What you need to talk about?
Good to see you, Hunter.
Took some help from Nakago and the others, but we can now forge more kinds of decorations for
See you
you.
later.
Sick. I'm less interested in decorations, but can you make me some new bugs? You cannot make me any new bugs. You suck. I don't like you. I really don't much care for you. Protection, Divine Blessing, that's always a nice one to have. Gobbler, Speed Eating, that's actually kind of nice to have. Resistor, Blight Resistance, Destroyer, whatever. Wide Range, well, we're not doing an online playthrough, so that's not super useful. Physique, ooh. Constitution, what I'll name for you? Well, 5 levels of it. Rodeo. Nothing. Set. Who's got free space? You got free space. We'll throw some physique in there. Any more free space? No. Okay.
Take good care of
I'll take my 1 level of Constitution. That's decent. What should I do? Oh, sick.
Oh, hi.
Okay. What else have we got? So I've got the diving wyvern. Hold up, y'all. We're gonna do a quick little bit of research. We'll find out what else I'm missing. Y'all can't see it, but I'm pulling it up real quick. Let's give it a quick little... Let's swap over. How to unlock the switch skills. Where's that? Tetra Seal Slash, we've got that, okay. Second set. Oh. Okay. So I completely missed that. The second set of switch skills is unlocked by crafting or upgrading different weapons of the same weapon type. In my testing, it seems this set of switch skills is unlocked after crafting or upgrading 8 times. Take note, this needs to be unlocked by per weapon. Sick, we can do that. Upgrade. Sick. Yes. No. Can I upgrade you? I don't have any fire stones. We're gonna do the orchard, huh? No. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Firestones, same thing. Running up against the wall there. Aknosong 3. Yeah, we could do you. Really? I don't have any of that? That's actually quite surprising. What else? Okay. Anything else I can do? Oh! Oh, the rampage tree. Yeah. I gotta say, so I need Fire Cell and Lagombi Pal. Fuck you, Fire Cells. I don't want that at all. Was that enough? Hold up. Unlock by crafting weapons. The second set of switch unlocked by crafting or upgrading different weapons at the same time. Now, which one is it? Tetra Seal Slash. Did I unlock it already? Advancing Round Slash. That's the one that I want. Actually, a lot of people don't like it. I enjoy Advancing Round Slash. I think it's a lot of fun. It's the one counter that Insect Blade gets. So, you know, might as well use it. Ramp up. Oh. Can I ramp you up at all? Sure. Yeah, there it is. I just had to go get it. Let's go. Okay. Manage. We're gonna change our equipment here because fuck this thing. Good. Yep. How? I don't understand how I keep dropping this frame. Oh. It's actually the whole stream, huh? I wonder what's causing this. Which is not. Okay, are we back? I feel like we're back. Check, check. Am I still... Live here? Check 2. Checking my own stream. Hang on. I'm looking to see. Am I still super choppy? I think we lost the stream. Check. Okay. If I go this. Okay. Looks like we're back. I'm really not sure why that keeps happening. It is a huge bummer, though. I don't think it's not. What that tells me, y'all. Well, it tells me a few things. Number one. Tells me I probably cannot record. Maybe it's because I'm trying to record while I do this. I don't want to use YouTube shitty recordings because that's lame. But I might not have a choice. I've been avoiding using trying to edit down videos from YouTube's recording, like re-downloading my stream to edit into smaller form factor videos. That's yeah. Okay. We're back. We are back. Let's see here. Ooh, I gotta swap out my switch skill. Advancing round slash. Oh, this is always fun because it's a count. It's like the one counter you get as an incentive. I do wish. Like, I'm right there. Why would that? Actual, like, legitimate complaint about Rise. Look at this. I am running at the box. Why is the thing? Because I'm moving? No, not because I'm moving. Sometimes the interaction option just doesn't show up, and you have to, like, convince it that you want to interact with something. Anyway, okay, enough griping.
Here's the quest list.
Hopefully. You know what? Nargacuga's where we left off last time. And the frame drops were just like ruining the whole vibe of the fight. Let's see what we get for this one.
Let's make this a quick one.
Alright, there's Nargacuga up. Zone 13. Stink mink, I don't really want one of those. We'll take this though. You. Here he is. The man, the myth, the legend. I like it. I appreciate that they kept Nargacuga really big in this game. Ooh, this seems like a particularly large Nargacuga though. Woo! Yeah, he's a big boy. No! Dude. Gotcha. Come here. Oh. It's so really hard to time. Oh. When you get it, it's pretty satisfying. That didn't work out. Ooh. Is he mad? Yeah. There. What you got, bro? Oh, timing is so weird. Oh, this got that. Alright, let's go. Line up. What? Get back here.
It moved somewhere else.
He is right down here. No. Oh, that's bullshit. Come here. Ooh. That's right. You two get it. That's not what I wanted.
I'll be gentle. Promise. Bye-bye. Who's up for walkies?
Man. fucking up this Narga.
And stay down. Knew I could count on you. Just won't do.
Oh, still got tapped. Really? Right over me, huh?
You're done for.
Yeah! The diving wyvern is so much harder to hit.
Sweet.
Am I out of bombs? Oh, fuck me. Okay. Shouldn't be using these at the start of the quest, but I'll take it. Yeah. Okay.
Let's see how you
No, that's not what I want. Yeah, we'll let that recharge. Oh. Well, I guess we let that go for too long. What I was trying to do was not die, first and foremost. But what I was trying to do was one of these guys, one of my little wyvern.
Here comes the pain.
Dang.
You're done for.
Well, I guess that worked out, but that's not what I meant to do either. So really struggling with the controls for Rise compared to World. Everything's reversed. Also, Rise has a bunch of moves that aren't in World. Moves that I love, they're so much more fun. That's what I was trying to do. Wow. I should have broke off. I knew I should have broke off the other, and I fucking didn't. That's okay. The issue does, in fact, seem to be trying to both record and stream. I think that is the problem. And that sucks. I really wanted to be able to do that. I think if I am going to do that, I just need
Gotta stay sharp.
to upgrade or have a separate stream PC or both. Which is a bummer, because that's expensive. Get over here, bro.
Knew I could count on you.
What's up? First I could be punishing you, right? Oh yeah, they're looking real rough. Oh, you gonna come at me? Now you're angry. Ooh. I'll take the dodge. That was cool too. What's up? Again. Okay. Ooh. Poorly timed. Poorly timed. One more? Yep. There it is.
Stop begging for mercy.
We're gonna see if we can grab up some of these buffs real quick. I doubt it'll follow. He might. Now let's go back and get it.
Here comes the pain.
Get some.
Knew I could count on you.
He's running away. He is running
Follow
away.
it.
What's up, bro?
Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
Here it comes.
Not what I meant to do. One more. Focus the one. Fuck that up. Shit!
You're my best pal.
Fucking me up over here. Okay. Come on. Oh, God.
Take me off now.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Nice. So for anybody that doesn't know, you need 3 attacks. You need to string together 3 attacks before you do that final attack where I dive straight down. Each time you string an attack on, it increases the damage until you get to the 3rd one. So if I counter and then do 2 aerial attacks. God, he's so punishing with fireballs. Oh, shit. Anyway. Well, now that I'm dead, I can tell you how it works. So...
I'll be back. Let's go.
if you counter and then do two. If you counter and then do 2 aerial glaive attacks, you can then throw a diving wyvern on the end, and it will do its maximum possible damage. It still hits relatively hard without stringing on three actions first. But if you want to use that combo to its full effect, you really do need to get all 3 on there. Otherwise, there's more efficient ways that you can use your attack weapon. Like just completing a grounded combo, in most cases, would have done more damage unless you're going to string together all 3 of the moves. Hello. What's this? Blast Toad? Nope. Not it. God damn, bro. Ah. Oh no. I died to the Nargacuga. That's unfortunate. Damn. Big bummer there. All right, back to it.
Welcome to the hub. Which quest would you like?
In reality, I should probably be upgrading my gear. Don't want to.
How's it going? So, what can I help you with? Just
Upgrade
tell me what you
program.
need.
Oh shit, okay. Yeah, let's fucking... Yeah, let's slam that shit out.
Excellent. Leave it to me.
Yeah. Sweet.
Excellent.
Man, these fucking beats just slap though. Bitch. Okay. Uh. Okay. Yep. Sick. Okay, Nargacuga kind of pushed my duty in there a little bit. So let's do a Rathalos instead. That's always great for a cult.
How can I help you?
A lot of people get tired of Rathalos. So, like, I could see if I had to fight him over and over again. But just for funsies, yeah, I love fighting this dude.
Yeah.
Rathalos shirt. My wonderful girlfriend got that for me for Christmas.
Back to work.
Shush. Okay. Yeah, I think we're all set. I think I've got everything I need here. Let's go beat the dog shit out of a Rathalos. Always
Let's
fun.
make this a quick
Always
one.
fun to do that. Ooh. And while I'm here, I haven't really explored much of the volcanic region yet. That's suspect. While I'm here, I can snatch me up some ore because I need fire cell stones. I don't know what for, but I know I need them. I actually don't need enough. I need them. Being honest. There we go. Getting texts from my girlfriend who is out of town. I'm going to go see her from Bam. There's just me in the house. Which I'm always like, every time my girlfriend leaves town, I'm always like, fuck yeah. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want all night. And I'm gonna hang out, I'm gonna play video games, which is what I fucking play. I just play video games with her around. I'm always like, oh cool, like, you know, house to myself. That's sick.
That's our target, huh?
And then I wind up just being exceptionally bored the whole fucking time. Every time she moves. Yeah! Look at that fucking dodge roll. Look at that shit. He says and then immediately gets fucking clapped. Let's go. Fuck you, Rathalos. Oh, big hit. Nope. Go fuck yourself, bro. Pick that clip. Nope. Okay. Let's see if we can get a. That didn't work. Ah! They're hitting me so hard. No! Bonnie, help me. Yo, oh, Bonnie, you did help.
Let's go.
Thank you. Okay. What I'm trying to do and learn how, what I'm trying to like get proficient at is there's a counter. Okay. Well. God damn it! He didn't even hit me, you bitch. You motherfucker! I will get good at this counter. It's the last thing I do. I'm gonna get good at this shit. Motherfucker. Hey! 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 That's very rude, dog. Come on now. That was uncalled for. These feels feel good in this one.
Better follow it.
Come here.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm getting my cheeks clapped. Do I suck at this game? Like, am I bad at this? No. Maybe.
Whetstone time.
I am high-key very disappointed that I can't record something like that. Wait. Eddie's a weak boy? For anybody that doesn't know, those butterflies mean that he has less than normal health. Got it? Got it?
You're my best petters up for floppies.
Bam! Bam! One more. Let's go. Boom. Little fluffy T-Rex out here putting in work.
Stay down.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm okay. Woo! Out of that. Man, these guys really do hit very hard. So aggressive, I can't hit anywhere other than his head. Dang. Man, I really came in here for a tune-up match, bro. But you're kind of putting me through my paces. Shit.
Let's go.
Am I under-geared or do I just suck? Porque los dos. Poquito.
I'm going after it.
Hey, bitch, get the fuck back here. Where the hell do you think you're going? A real punk bitch move, you should know that. Just want you to know. Okay. God, this playlist is a banger. Weird. That was a neat glitch. Did the butterflies just... Did Curio just forget? Okay. Damn it.
I knew I could count on you. Oh, man.
I didn't have my weapon out. I didn't have it out. It wasn't there. Can't counter. You don't have your weapon out.
I'm not giving up yet.
Well, I guess you can. I just countered my face onto the ground. That's all. Oh shit. Bruh. You're kind of a dick, you know that? Be super awesome if Bonnie or Rose would help me. Help me! Okay. Thanks, guys. Glad you were there to help. Motherfuckers.
Here it comes.
Is that good? Ooh. I cannot believe I'm having this much trouble with my battles. I really am sucking ass at this game. This is so sad. I used to play exclusively Aerial Blade and be devastating at it. That's like one of the weaker versions of this weapon. Why am I having so much trouble?
Let's see how you handle
Dang! Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'll be gentle. Promise.
I won't. This is a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. Come here. Come here.
Bye.
Well, that sucks. You lucked out. Sucks for me, though. Ooh, looking a little rough there, buddy. I don't think I've cut off a single tail since I started this playthrough. Like, I'm not concerned about me at this point in the game.
Let's go. This should do. It moved somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay. Up we go, up we go, up we go. wasn't what I meant to do. Or we could say, fuck MrThumb and the sick combo he's trying to pull off. Oh no! Shit. Pause! Woo! My controller died. Oh man. Always use rechargeable batteries, folks. Okay. Hold up. We're almost there. All right. Yeah, I'm back. I'm trying to use this counter. I feel like that's a big part of what's causing me so much grief, because I'm trying to like change up my playstyle so much just so that I can do it. But I'm also trying to learn the timing of it. Because I never really did in my last playthrough. And I always thought it was super cool. And everybody was like, no, that would fucking suck. Like, it's gotta be playable, right? Where the fuck do you think you're going? I'll fuck you up, I'm fuck you up. Let's see. Leave. Oh. Oh hell no. Hey. Yeah. Really? Damn. The motherfucker. Okay. Tune-up match my ass. Character test. The only thing that's matched that's actually getting tuned up. Oh, sweet. He's nice enough to join me right now. I will learn the timing of this counter. I will return to the glory of the aerial glade. Come here, bitch. You ain't done yet. Get out of this guy. What, you think? Because you're a fly boy? Because you flutter around? You're fucking... You can get away from me? Get over here. You bitch. I will use every goddamn Mega Potion in the box. Simply to master this combo on you in particular. Not any other Rathalos, just you. Fuck yourself, bro. I'm done to my last thing already. I really painted this. Okay. I have like a nearly maxed out character. And I am this bad. It's the Rathalos! I should just capture him. Just capture him. That's one. Oh, we're gonna make good decisions. Good decisions. Good decisions. Crafting. Flash bomb.
What's the matter?
Run away. We're drinking our last Mega Potion. Keeping our eyes on the target. Eyes on the prize. Fire Cell Stone and a Fire Cell. Sick. He going to sleep already? He is going. Oh, he is a big boy. Oh, he did seem like a big boy. He hit like a big boy, that's for sure. There we go. Ooh, we get a Rathalos plate? We sure did. I mean, that's cool. I'll take that. That kind of struggle.
Working hard? Go to our village.
Okay, cool.
Hey there.
Okay. I think that's where I'm gonna call it tonight. Y'all have a good one, and I might even come with a little bonus stream tomorrow. I know we're already having a bonus stream today, Saturday, but I'm gonna do